Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Garrison, the son of Sister Wives actors Kody Brown and ex-Janelle Brown, committed himself last March. In the most recent episode, the patriarch reflected on his grief journey and offered his regrets. Kody Brown has a fresh perspective on the past. The Sister Wives actor and his ex-wife Janelle Brown lost their 25-year-old son Garrison Brown to suicide more than a year ago. He thought back on their complex relationship before his untimely death. In the May 4th episode, Kody addressed his wife Robyn Brown outside their house. "It wasn't supposed to be this way. It's devastating. Robyn, I was unable to say goodbye and didn't have the opportunity to truly put things right." He went on, "I simply don't know what to do with his death. I could have spent more time with him, therefore I need to change things around. I had assumed there would be additional time." According to his ex-wife Janelle, Kody has tense relationships with 90 to 95% of his children. He is the father of 18 children with Robyn and his 3 former polygamous spouses, Janelle, Mary Brown, and Christine Brown. In the midst of Kody and Robyn's stringent procedure during the COVID-19 pandemic, Garrison and his 23-year-old brother Gabe Brown's relationships with their father had deteriorated. The Brown patriarch talked about how his understanding of his previous actions has changed as he now works through his pain. "Suddenly, everything that I was frustrated about, including COVID and other related issues, seemed so insignificant. I'm simply depressed," the 56-year-old remarked. "How do I handle all the birthdays and holidays in the remainder of my life?" Even though family members advise him not to, Kody, who also has children with Janelle, Logan Brown, 31, Madison Brush, 29, Hunter Brown, 28, and Savannah Brown, 20, frequently reflects on what he could have done better prior to Garrison's passing. In the most recent episode, he told Robyn, "So many people have advised me, don't get trapped in that what-if train. I'll do that since it's a step in the process for me." He pondered among such ideas. What if I had called him? What if I had communicated more? What if we had gone out and taken on more? He remarked, "It still makes me sad. I continue to question whether something could have been done. The what-ifs are the problem. What might have been?" Janelle, who moved to North Carolina to be near Madison, stated that she has had to keep busy and keep her mind occupied during her grieving process. "Being there with the grandchildren makes it easier," the 55-year-old said. She continued, "It's minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. There are good and bad days, as well as good and bad days, as well as good and bad minutes." Continue reading to learn more about the current Sister Wives season. Shortly after their 1990 vows, Kody Brown declared he was prepared to separate from his first wife, Mary Brown. However, Mary said in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Mary, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us," alluding to their 2018 relocation. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her primary complaint, she stated, is his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want and the story that he's been telling for all these years. Also, Kody admitted that there might have been mixed messages, but only because he added, "I'm like, why would I do this?" when he began to work on things. "I would not court and date her now." In any case, when Mary finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her pals were ecstatic. They're like, "Okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time," she admitted. "Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away," she says, implying that he had been trying to get her to leave him for years by claiming he didn't love her. In the season premiere, Kody said that he was prepared to let the idea die years after the family had bought the 14-acre plot of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they intended to build. Unable to construct without paying the entire $820,000 price tag, which the family allegedly did in 2023, he said to Robyn Brown, his surviving wife, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it, and then just start again somewhere else." "I can't talk about that," she said in reference to Robyn. "That is so not where I'm at. Janelle Brown, the second wife, had previously informed E! News. We just kind of started to grow apart, but in the end, she left because of Kody's shortcomings as a parent to several of their children. The mom told Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown, the big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here. Janelle refused to entertain the possibility of reconciliation, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids, she stated. No, I'm going to always choose my kids. That was Kody's justification for not trying harder to patch up the problems he was having with some of his grown children. I don't fit in the family anymore, he complained in the episode that aired on September 15th. Dayton Brown, Aurora Brown, Brianna Brown, Solomon Brown, and Ariella Brown are the 5 children he and Robyn are raising together. He added, and then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage, Robyn admitted in the season 19 premiere, even though they were being totally monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. It's been tough between us. He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too? The worst thing, she summarized, was that there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. As a result, she disclosed, I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he is not sabotaging our relationship. As Kody shared, I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey, dude, I love you. Kody was experiencing a crisis of confidence. Seeing her former sister wives enjoy their new era was difficult for Robyn. They're all moving on, she said on the episode that aired on October 27th. I feel like the idiot that got left behind. To the list of children Kody isn't currently seeing, add Madison, Janelle's oldest daughter. During the premiere, Janelle clarified, I am aware that Maddie has not spoken to her father. She's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off. Kody's shaky relationship with Maddie's children, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine, is the problem, according to Janelle. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit to it. Because of this, Janelle revealed on the September 22nd episode that when the family started to really dissolve, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister was married to Kody's brother. Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme, Janelle continued, since Kody has not been calling or coming to see. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him. Robyn added that she has been pushing Kody to make amends, but she also stated, I think the kids should be doing the same thing, too. Kody, however, seems unprepared to mend the split for the time being, complaining that each time he spoke to his daughter, it was a fish for gossip, and I got tired of it. He was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and he felt like he had to marry me. Mary revealed in a conversation with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere, while they were celebrating their 32nd anniversary. Kody, I told him, I know you loved me. In a confessional, Leon Brown's mother asked why he ever proposed if he didn't. Why would a single young man choose to marry a single young woman and simply declare and compel love for her when he didn't feel any feelings for her? How cruel is that, she questioned. I chose you to attempt to force myself to love for the next 32 years, he said, picking me out of a crowd. In his own confessional, Kody responded, oh, Mary has her little allegations now. Okay, anything she wants to say. I will refrain from commenting on it. He would, however, admit that they never relished their honeymoon. During the October 20th show, he argued, this marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage. And how would I know that? Because my relationships with Robyn, Christine, and Janelle were so much better. Even though he acknowledged that he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, he remained because he was afraid, saying, Leadership will never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives. I think I'm going to have to lawyer up, Janelle admitted to former sister wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode, because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him. Janelle stated that step one was paying off the Arizona property, even though she wasn't sure if she wanted to build on Coyote Pass or just sell it off. Without a valid marriage to Kody, Janelle admitted, I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property. In her own words, it's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person. No, there isn't a legal marriage, which makes things quite difficult. Kody claims that he no longer trusted Janelle, which is why he didn't discuss their Arizona property with her. We will pay off the property when the time comes, he maintained during a confessional in the September 22nd episode, adding, and I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family. In her own interview, Janelle described it as a bit of a pot calling the kettle black. He leaks like a sieve, she said. He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that. The family used to put all of their money into one pot back when their love was still growing rather than shrinking. On the September 22nd show, Janelle stated, up until the last 10 or so years, that's how it always worked. We would use all the resources to help one person, then we would all rally to support the other person. Suddenly, it's about my estate, even though everyone needs their own estate. They all helped to purchase Robyn's $1.65 million 5-bedroom house in Arizona when she needed a place to live. It was put up for sale this past August. According to Robyn, the idea was that it would be a benefit to the family. However, when Janelle proposed that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was rejected. Kody was like, no, we need to protect Robyn's estate, Janelle recalled. Therefore, now that she is leaving the family, she would like her share of the Coyote Pass proceeds, and I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. However, it can be difficult to sell. We were working together for so long, Robyn said, and Robyn continued, it's like, how do you calculate? After Janelle claimed she owed them money. How do you calculate that? It's really perplexing. I see all the art on their walls, Janelle said of Robyn and Kody's house, but I've seen him grab other assets like trailers and home decor. Janelle griped about the family's failure to pay for Coyote Pass, saying that Kody claimed to have all these other debts. And that's okay, I have money, and I've spent it on things too. Kody claimed that a large portion of his money was used to purchase cars, basically had a fleet, and child insurance. I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was, Janelle said, adding that she wasn't sure how Kody and Robyn managed their expenses. It was finished. Additionally, there was always stuff at her place. And I thought, wow. Finally, she wore herself down by saying, he doesn't prioritize what I need or what I want. I think after a while, I began to see it and my kids were getting very angry about it, like my adult children. Like, Mom, what the hell? In Robyn's opinion, though, she was extremely frugal after her first marriage failed. During the September 22nd show, she revealed, I used to be not so great with money. When I was young, I had hard knocks, and then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well. When asked about her fellow sister wives, she replied, you just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all. While she and Christine, the mother of Aspen Brown, Michael T. Brown Padron, Paydon Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown, and Truly Brown gather with their children, Janelle admitted in the September 22nd episode that there's no contact, really, with Mary or Robyn or Kody. I don't really foresee that's going to change much. Everything was going along smoothly and Maddie and Caleb were around, and it was great having them around. And I loved Caleb. He was definitely like family, Kody added, referring to their arrangement of 4 houses on a cul-de-sac during their time in Las Vegas as the best time of my life. However, as they disagreed about procedures relating to the coronavirus, things started to fall apart in Arizona. He said that his ties with the children suffered as a result of his marriage's failing, saying, it just made all those relationships go sour. However, Christine maintained that there were problems long before she made her departure known in late 2021. She stated, "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left," during the show that aired last September 22nd. "My leaving didn't change his kids' relationship with him. Kody can still fix his relationships with his children. However, it will undoubtedly require some effort. I'm so angry about how I've been treated that I haven't gotten past that," Kody said. "Here's the thing, is I'm not willing to take blame for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them that I did. I hope the time comes when the contempt will subside. We'll be able to find forgiveness and love again." Kody disclosed that when he and Meri were officially married at the age of 19 and spiritually married at the age of 21, respectively, they didn't really know one another. In order for Kody to lawfully adopt Robyn's 3 oldest children from her first marriage, they ultimately filed for divorce in 2014. He said that everything was a conflict, saying, "I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me. When we got married, she was very different, and I think just there's some baggage that Meri had that I didn't know about," Kody explained. "At first, I felt like I could live with it. However, he was unable to leave." According to a man in a plural marriage, Kody stated, he cannot ask for a divorce if he wishes to remain true and in his beliefs. "It is not permitted. I therefore couldn't leave that relationship. I didn't necessarily want to end the connection, though. I wanted to know if it was something we could fix and save." Kody added, "She wasn't nice, she wasn't fun, she wasn't kind, and she wasn't interesting." This is why he stated to Meri that he thought they would work things out. "I'm bored and trying to be curious with her. But I didn't kick me out," he said, acknowledging that he could understand Meri's sense of abandonment. "Meri, Janelle, and Christine all decided to have me leave the house. Meri requested an official separation, known as a release, from their church in late 2022, even though Janelle and Christine believed they didn't need to divorce Kody because their marriage was never lawful. She clarified in the September 22nd episode that it was through our church when each of us 4 ladies married Kody. Of course, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. Therefore, I believe it would be best to end it as we are not planning to get married, and I don't want to be permanently bound to him if he doesn't want me. And I'm at the point where I think we should simply put this out of our minds entirely." She went on to say that Kody was opposed to the notion because he did not want to acknowledge the authority of the church authorities. Kody clarified his position by saying, "The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. But since we are accountable to God, I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. Since it will turn into a quarrel if I become upset with Meri, I'm going to let her go and do what she wants to do." And it took her a long time to comprehend that it had been done and over for years, so I just needed her to leave. Kody Brown laments not having a chance to make things right before son Garrison's heartbreaking death, a father's regretful confession. Introduction: the shocking heartbreak behind the Brown family. The Sister Wives family has been no stranger to public scrutiny, but Kody Brown's most gut-wrenching confession to date might just be the one that leaves even the most dedicated fans speechless. The tragic passing of his son, Garrison Brown, has been an event that has rocked the family to its core. While the public has witnessed the highs and lows of Kody's polygamous family dynamic, the untold emotional toll of his strained relationships, particularly with his children, has remained largely in the shadows. In a rare, deeply emotional confession, Kody Brown laments the untimely death of his son and the profound regrets he carries, regrets that have forever changed his perspective on fatherhood, family, and the opportunity to mend broken relationships before it was too late. This shocking and heartbreaking revelation shakes the foundation of the Sister Wives family saga. Here's everything you need to know about Kody's deepest regrets regarding Garrison's passing and the emotional aftermath that has left him questioning everything. Chapter 1. The broken bonds before Garrison's death. Before tragedy struck, Kody's relationship with his children had been strained for years. His often contentious relationships with his wives and the chaos surrounding the family's dynamic left little room for Kody to fully invest in the emotional needs of his children, especially the older ones. Garrison, a son who had grown increasingly distant from his father in recent years, became a symbol of the fractured nature of the Brown family. Despite the public nature of his family's life, the private tensions within the Brown household had reached a boiling point. Garrison had been outspoken about his feelings toward his father, making it clear that he felt neglected and hurt by Kody's behavior and decisions. Fans of the show had watched as Garrison began to speak out more often on social media, sharing his frustrations with his father's lack of presence in his life.